The air in the village of Athelred hung thick with the stench of death. It was the plague, they said, a sickness brought by the winds from the east. It had arrived silently, a creeping shadow that turned the healthy into ghastly parodies of their former selves. Agnes, the village healer, had tried every remedy she knew, but the disease was relentless, claiming lives with chilling speed. One morning, Agnes found herself face to face with a sight that chilled her to the bone. The village priest, Father Michael, lay in his bed, his face contorted in a silent scream, his eyes staring blankly at the ceiling. The plague had taken him too, but the strange stillness of his body, the vacant stare, sent a shiver down Agnes's spine. It wasn't just the plague, she felt. There was something else, something dark and unsettling. Days turned into nights, nights into weeks. The plague ravaged the village, leaving behind a trail of empty homes and silent streets. Fear hung heavy. Agnes, now the only one left with any semblance of knowledge about healing, found herself alone, haunted by the chilling silence of the village. One night, as the moon cast an eerie glow over the desolate landscape, Agnes heard a low, mournful wailing coming from the abandoned church. It was a sound that sent shivers down her spine, a sound that spoke of death and despair. Curiosity, tinged with a desperate hope that the sound might lead her to a way to fight the plague, overcame her fear. She cautiously approached the church, her heart pounding in her chest. As she stepped inside, the wailing intensified, a chilling chorus of sorrow that seemed to emanate from every corner of the church. She saw it then, a pale, translucent figure, a spectral apparition of Father Michael, his eyes hollow, his body wrapped in a shroud of darkness. He was not alone. Other figures, pale and spectral, emerged from the shadows, their faces twisted in agony. The plague, she realized, had infected not just their bodies, but their very souls, trapping them in this spectral purgatory. The church, she knew, had become a breeding ground for this spectral contagion. Desperate, Agnes tried to flee, but the spectral figures surged forward, their ethereal hands reaching out to grab her, their wailing voices echoing in her ears. In a moment of clarity, she remembered a forgotten remedy, a ritual to cleanse the soul of corruption. It was a dangerous practice, a gamble with her own life, but it was her only chance. She recited the ancient words, the air around her crackling with unseen energy. She could feel the spectral figures pulling at her, trying to drag her into the abyss, but she fought back, her voice growing stronger with every word. As the last word left her lips, the spectral figures recoiled, their forms flickering and fading like dying embers. Agnes was left alone, drained but alive. They lurked in the shadows, waiting for the opportunity to return, to infect the living and turn them into their own ghastly kind. Agnes had saved the village, but the battle was not over. The shadow of the spectral plague, she knew, would forever haunt the village of Athelred, a chilling reminder that the darkness could always return. And as she left the church, the moon casting an eerie glow on her face, Agnes swore to herself that she would never let the village forget the lesson they had learned, the lesson of the spectral plague.